What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be working on this 2005 350Z. I'm gonna be installing a set of coilovers. I also got some carbon fiber fenders for it, a rear bumper, a Tomei exhaust, and then I'm gonna be installing an oil cooler. And also, a couple of years ago, I threw a nitrous skid and there's a problem with the wiring, so I'm gonna be fixing that. So let me go ahead and throw it inside of the shop and then show you guys the process. Okay, before I start taking it apart, I'm gonna turn it on so you guys can hear the exhaust. I wanna see if you're able to see the difference between the one it has right now and the Tomei. So let me go ahead and turn it on. Okay, I'm gonna start on the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the Mishimoto oil cooler first. Then I'm gonna install the coilovers, then the fenders. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack it up, and I'm gonna be removing the oil filter, the housing, and everything I need to remove. This is supposed to be a bolt-on, so I also gotta remove the bumper. Like I said, it's supposed to be a bolt-on, so hopefully it goes by fast. Okay, so I already opened the oil cooler kit. So you get the oil cooler, you get the oil lines, the fittings, the hardware, the bracket, and the sandwich. So hopefully it's pretty simple. I'm gonna get the car ready and go ahead and install it. Okay, the cooler is supposed to go right here, but I got a cold air intake, so I'm not gonna be able to bolt it on right there, and I don't wanna move the cold air intake because that's where it's supposed to go. So I got a couple of options. I either move the power steering. I think that's the power steering cooler if I'm not mistaken. So either I move it somewhere else or I bolt it on the middle. Even if I bolt it on the middle though, I'm still gonna have to move this because it's not gonna clear. So even if I put it right there, it's not gonna work. So most likely I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna bolt the oil cooler. Okay, so I ended up moving the power steering cooler to the right of the vehicle a little bit, and now I'm able to fit my oil cooler. So now the oil cooler is gonna fit right there. I already drilled the holes. So I'm gonna go ahead right now and bolt it on. I also have the sandwich ready and the hoses. So I'm gonna go ahead and just bolt everything on right now. Okay, so I'm done installing the oil cooler. This is how it looks. So I was able to bolt it on between the air filter and the other cooler. I just run the hoses to the side, and then I put the sandwich. And then I had to run the hoses like this because they were too long, and I don't want them to rub on the tire. It's barely gonna clear it, so it should be fine the way it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and start installing the coilovers on the front, and then I'm gonna put the fenders, then I'm gonna go to the rear coilovers. Okay, so I'm gonna start moving this one right now. It only has 3 nuts on the top, and then 1 bolt, that one right there that goes across, and this one's for the ABS. You just remove it. And then the brake line, right, there's a nut right there, so just remove the nut and that whole thing comes off. And I'm gonna be installing the coilover. Okay, so I got it off, and it looks like I'm gonna have to use the same strut tower because this one doesn't have new ones. So I'm gonna take this off right now, but before I do, this right here, it's fixed, it doesn't move. So I'm gonna have to mark it, make sure I get it lined up on this one, the way it came off of this one. Because if not, I'm gonna have a super hard time to install them. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and install the tower on the new coilover. Okay, so there's one. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so here's the other side. I already installed it. It was same thing as the left-hand side. So I got both sides installed. There's the other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the fenders on. Okay, so I marked this section because I'm gonna be cutting this section off. These fenders that I got, they don't clear. They hit right here. They're hitting right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this section off. Okay, so I cut a piece and now it fits. Okay, so I finished installing the fender. This is how it came out. Usually on these kind of pieces, there's a gap on the door and on the hood. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the other one, the other side. And I mean, if I get the same gap, then it means that's how it's supposed to be. And if I don't have a gap, or if they overlap, or if I have a greater gap, then it means I need to adjust it. But on this side, I can't adjust it anymore because on the headlight, it's like wrapped around the headlight and I can't move it anymore. And also right here. So I'm assuming that's how it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the other side and see how it looks. Okay, so I already did this side and I'm pretty much done on this side as well. I did the same thing as the other side. Let me take it off and show you guys what I did. Okay, so I cut a section off because it wouldn't clear, but I just shaved this section off and now it clears. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it on, throw the bumper on, and I'm gonna move on to the back. I'm gonna start working on the coilovers on the back and the exhaust and the bumper. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the front. I put the coilovers, the oil cooler. You're able to see the oil cooler down there, and the carbon fiber fenders. So I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna start working on the rear coilovers, the exhaust, and the rear bumper. Okay, so I'm gonna start working on the back now. I'm gonna do everything at the same time. So first I'm gonna remove the bumper, the exhaust, and the coilovers on the rear, and then I'm gonna put everything back together. Okay, so I just opened the exhaust, and this is what we got. So we got a muffler, we got two pipes, that one's like a resonator. This is a silencer, the clamp, and we got more clamps over here, and hardware. We got some springs, some bolts and nuts. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I already removed the bumper. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the exhaust, and I'm gonna start taking off the coilovers too. And I don't know how much from the exhaust I have to remove. I'm assuming from the Y pipe to the back, but we'll see right now. Okay, so I got the exhaust off. I also got the springs and the shock absorbers off and the bumper. So I'm gonna be putting these exhaust, those coilovers, and here's the bumper. So I'm gonna start with the coilovers and then the exhaust, and lastly the bumper. Okay, so this is how it looks without the shock absorber and the spring. This is one side and the other side over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the new ones. Okay, on this one is the same as the front. This piece has to come off, and then you gotta put it on this one. Let me show you. I already bolted on this side over here. So that's how it looks, and then that's the spring. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that side, and then I'm gonna start doing the exhaust. Okay, I'm also done with this side. So I put everything back on. There's a little bit of play on the coil, so I'm gonna leave it like that, and I'm gonna see how the car sits, because these coils are shorter, but they're a lot more stiff than those. So if I adjust them right now, I might need to loosen them. So I'm gonna leave them the way they are, and then I'll see. Right now I'll check how they sit. Okay, now that I'm done with the coilovers, I'm gonna start installing the exhaust. Okay, so here's the exhaust. The nice thing about titanium is that it's super light, and this is a nice looking muffler. So I'm gonna go ahead and install it right now. I already opened all the hardware, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the exhaust. This is how it looks. It's actually pretty nice, one of the nicest ones I've done. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rear bumper, and I should be done. The last thing I have to do is fix the wiring for the nitrous, and that's it. Okay, so I'm almost done with the rear bumper. I did brackets to hold this piece right here for the trunk release and the license plate lights. I just drilled holes for the corner lights, and then I already drilled the holes that are gonna hold the bumper. So I already drilled those. There's some right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on now. Okay, so I'm done installing the bumper. This is how it came out. I mean, it's not that bad. It's a Duraflex. It's not a perfect fit, but I mean, it looks pretty nice. This is how the exhaust looks. Looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna push it outside, then I'm gonna turn it on and rev it. Then I gotta fix some wires for the nitrous, and I'm pretty much done. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so you guys can hear the difference on the exhaust. So let me go ahead and turn it on.